bit of attention on when I talk, all the talk I do about connection, about being connected, about this nature of doing things together. Because there is a lot that is said about being the individual. I mean, certainly we've had that hugely in our culture. John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, the strong individual. And I actually have been suggesting very, very strongly that there actually is no such thing as an individual. Certainly intellectually and academically, things like mirror neurons and our sense of empathy and even just our forms of communication, just language and talking and expressions and facial expressions, all those things only exist so as to help us express what is going on in our mind, in our brain, across the social synapse, which is something we talk about. Lou Cozzolino, a friend of mine, coined that term, across the social synapse of somebody else. Our desire is to express ourselves across space and to have that connection brought back to us. And even Tom Hanks, when he got marooned on the island, he made a friend out of a volleyball. We need other people. We need other brains. And one of the things that gets frustrating and difficult is it's not right for me. It doesn't work for me. It is too hard for me. I'm just having too much difficulty with this. And for me it's this, and for me it's that, and for me it's the other thing. So who's me? And is me actually something that's unavoidable or inescapable? And actually I don't think it is. I think me is something that we create. It's one of the elements, and I think there's lots of me's. Now what I want to do, I'm just going to show you over here what I mean, just using language. One of my early degrees was in linguistics. And I was fascinated the way that our language structure really expressed how we feel. And I thought, I wonder if the way we feel is how our language structure came about. And here's something really interesting. I just want to look at this really simple thing. I am me. Okay, I am me. Everybody goes, yes. And we have a lot of work at the moment looking for your authentic self. And is that me or is that I? Complicated. Let's talk about it quickly. I am me. Now that tells us almost everything we need to know about the way the brain works and about what we do with our potentials and our possibilities, and how our potentials and possibilities are organized in the world. From I am me, that sounds a bit far-fetched. Let me explain. So, who is me? Who are the me's? I mean, you're sitting there. What sort of person are you right now? Are you the same? Are you behaving and feeling the same as you did when you were at work or at school or wherever it was you were earlier on in the day? When you meet with friends, are you the same person as when you meet up with business partners or with social sets or down at the kindergarten or at school? Or don't you actually run a whole series of me's as you go along? And in fact, when you're with your parents and with your other friends at the same time, don't you actually flip from me's, all over the place? You'll say, yes, Mum, yes, Dad, that's right. Oh, we do this changing. So I looked at this thing, I am me. I thought, how does that help us understand? So me is something that changes. And you can be me here, me there, me the other place, me there, me there. There's a whole bunch of me's. What we call the multiple selves. My friend Bonnie Badenoch does a lot of talk about this in her book, Being a Brainwise Therapist, and various other places. So there's lots of me's, but there's only one I. There's only one I. And I wonder if I is our verbal and emotional expression of all our potentials, of all our possibilities. And me is the expression of how we express those potentials and possibilities at any given time. And what is it about that sentence that shows us what occurs to I in order for it to become me? And look at that. Am. In the middle, there's a verb. In the middle, there's a thing, there's an action, there's an activity. And activity is the key to everything about me, because I acted upon in an action, doing something or having something done to me, emerges a me that is necessary in response to that verb. So I am me tells us about how we work, and how if I want to be a different me, I need to change my verb. I need to change what are the actions, what are my beliefs, what are my motivations, what are the things driving me, what are the things that are bothering me, what are the outside influences. Now, certainly the curiosity approach, where you ignite the curious mind with that's interesting, in order to start to see beyond just the obvious problem into the message, and then to create from it. But here's a wonderful message. And there's a couple of others that I really like just as we wind up, and I leave you with these things to think about. And maybe we can shift a few words around. How about impossible? What about I'm possible? It's just the way you frame the letters, and you activate it with these action things called punctuation marks. And what about illness? When it's all about I, that's not very good. But when you make it about we, maybe it becomes wellness. Even when we're ill, but we're together and connected, we can feel more well. And my friend Dan Siegel does a wonderful thing. Says me, which is like, yeah, and there's we, which is, yeah, there's me and we, but there is a me and there is a we. What if we just sort of connect them and combine them and integrate them and let them act together and create the word we? Dan's beautifully done that before me, but I share it with you now in the sense of I'm possible as a we, because I am more than just me. I am any me that I need to create, and I can change any me that I have created. There's a brain blast for you. Let's think about that. Leave your comments down below. Ask me some questions. I'm sure there's much more to be said. Let's see if we can keep the conversation going.